Behind MrBeast stand 100 people. And what makes this challenge unique is that they come from all different age groups. From 1-year-old to 100 years old. All participants are locked inside their own glass cubes. And the rules of the game are very simple. Whoever lasts the longest wins $500,000. $500,000 for just one person. It doesn't matter if they're a child, a teenager, an adult, or even a 90-year-old grandfather. Today, they all have an equal chance. Or at least that's what they think. Because the longer the challenge goes on, the more it becomes clear that surviving inside a small cube for days on end is far harder than anyone imagined. As soon as the timer started, all the participants immediately entered their respective glass cubes. Some looked relaxed, some were nervous, and some didn't even really understand what was going on. The little kids started jumping around inside their cubes. Meanwhile, the older participants tried to find the most comfortable sitting position. Then MrBeast said, "If you step out of the cube, you lose immediately." It's that simple. But the real challenge isn't just about stepping out or not. Rather, it's about who can last the longest against boredom, exhaustion, and mental pressure. One 31-year-old participant said, "I'm doing this for my family." Meanwhile, a 69-year-old participant casually said, "69, and I'm ready to win." The entire arena burst into laughter. However, the first few hours turned into a nightmare for the older participants. Because the little kids started making non-stop noise. They were screaming and jumping around with all their might. Their strategy was simple: to keep everyone else from sleeping. And surprisingly, the strategy worked. Some of the older participants started to get frustrated. Some covered their ears. Some started to get angry. And finally, the first participant gave up. The siren went off immediately. One participant stepped out of their cube and was officially eliminated. The challenge had only been going on for a few hours, and the game was already getting brutal. As the night wore on, more and more participants began to lose their patience. The children started to get bored. Some cried, wanting to go home. One of the young participants said, "I want to see my mom." And a few minutes later, he stepped out of the cube. Another elimination. Then another participant said he had to go to school tomorrow. And without hesitation, he gave up too. On the other hand, the adult participants began to show their mettle. They tried to stay focused. Some started sleeping on the cube floor. Some meditated. Some started doing light exercises. Meanwhile, the older participants tried to endure in their own ways. One war veteran even said, "I survived World War II, this is just a small challenge." That statement immediately left everyone in awe. However, even though their spirits were high, enduring hours in a cramped room turned out to be excruciating. No entertainment, no freedom, only glass walls, and their own thoughts. And when the first night arrived, the number of participants began to drop drastically. The next day, MrBeast decided to make the game even harder. The arena lights were kept on brightly the whole time. Loud music was playing, and the participants began to lose focus. Some of the younger participants tried to encourage each other, but others started to get in each other's way. The competition slowly turned into a mental battle. People began to realize that $500,000 wasn't just a dream. That money could change their lives. Some wanted to buy a house. Some wanted to help their families. And some wanted to pay off their debts. The greater their hopes, the greater the pressure they felt. A new challenge was announced. In front of all the participants, a red button appeared, and MrBeast said, "Anyone who quits now will get cash." All the participants fell silent immediately. It was a trap. If they quit, they would indeed lose. But they'd still get money. And some people started to be tempted, because there was no guarantee they'd be the grand prize winner. The amount of money kept growing. $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. All the participants began to panic. They looked at one another, trying to guess who would give up first. Some participants began to stand near the cube's door, ready to leave at any moment. But no one wants to be the first, because they know the longer they hold out, the bigger the money can get. And finally, when the amount reaches a huge figure, one participant can't take it anymore. He steps out of his cube and immediately takes the money. The entire arena erupts. The other participants could only stare in disappointment, because their chance at instant money was gone. But at the same time, the number of their opponents was now down by 1, and their chances of winning grew even greater. The fewer participants left, the more serious the game becomes. People are starting to form groups. Participants in their 30s are starting to work together. They encourage each other. They look out for each other's mental well-being. And they even devise strategies together. Meanwhile, the younger participants are starting to fall apart. Some are selfish. Some are getting emotional. And some are overconfident. On the other hand, the older participants actually seem very calm. They don't say much, but they're lasting much longer than most people expected. The audience is starting to be impressed, because some participants over 70 years old are still able to hold their own against the younger participants. And that makes this challenge even more exciting, because no one really knows who will be the last winner. Day after day passed, and now, all the participants were starting to look exhausted. Their hair was a mess. Their eyes were red. Their bodies were limp. Some began talking to themselves. Some fell asleep while sitting. And some began to lose hope. One of the adult participants said, "I don't know why I'm still here anymore." But every time they're about to give up, they remember the $500,000 prize. And that keeps them going a little longer. Meanwhile, the spectators outside the arena are starting to pick their own favorites. Some are rooting for the little kids. Some are rooting for the older adults. And some are rooting for the participants in their prime. The internet is even starting to debate which age group deserves to win this challenge the most. In the midst of the challenge, some participants began sharing why they had joined. One father said he wanted to buy a house for his family. A mother wanted to pay for her child's school fees. And a grandfather said, "This might be my last chance to change my life." The atmosphere immediately turned emotional. For the first time, everyone realized that this wasn't just a game. It was about hope, about dreams, and about people who desperately need that money. Some participants even started crying, because they knew not everyone could win. Now only a few contestants remain. The pressure is mounting. Even the slightest mistake could end it all. And finally, after hours of holding on, one by one, the contestants begin to give up, until only the last finalist remains. The entire arena is silent. All eyes are on them. Their hearts are pounding, because they're just one step away from $500,000. And when the last contestant finally emerges as the winner, confetti immediately rains down from the sky. The entire arena cheers. The winner cries, unable to believe that their long struggle has finally paid off. $500,000 is officially theirs. This challenge proves one thing. Age isn't the deciding factor in victory. A child can be stronger than an adult. An older person can be more patient than a young person. Sometimes, the winner isn't the strongest, but the one who can endure the longest. This is one of the craziest challenges MrBeast has ever created. 100 people, 100 different ages, and one prize that can change your life forever. If you're taking on this challenge, how long do you think you can last? Write your answer in the comments section. And don't forget, subscribe and turn on your notification bell, because there are plenty more exciting challenges coming up. If you're taking on this challenge, how long do you think you can? And here are some motivational quotes we can all learn from, viewed from different perspectives. 1. On resilience and mental strength. Victory belongs not to those who are physically the strongest, but to those who are best able to make peace with their own minds. Within the narrow cube of life, patience does not mean staying silent, but persevering without losing one's way. The true test isn't when we start, but when boredom and fatigue begin whispering the word, give up. 2. On age and opportunity. The number on your ID is just a number. Mental strength knows no age limit. Don't let your age limit your ambitions. Sometimes, an elder's calmness is more deadly than a young person's speed. Never underestimate anyone still standing in the arena. 3. On reasons to persevere. Feeling tired is human, but remember why you started. Your family's hopes are an endless source of fuel. The final step toward victory is often the hardest one. Don't stop just before the miracle happens. Hope is the only thing stronger than fear. If you have a big dream, even the thickest walls will feel transparent. Last, write your answer in the comments section. And don't forget, subscribe and turn on your notification bell, because there are plenty more exciting challenges coming up. The message and conclusion are, the world may confine you within its limitations, but only you hold the key to either persevere or break free. Hang in there a little longer, because the greatest rewards are reserved for those who don't take the easy way out.